He says, in 1943, my father was in the South Pacific in the infantry, fighting the war. And at some point, General Douglas MacArthur came through to review the troops and happened to stop at my dad. Could you imagine?
Dude.
Like, I would have to go change my underwear. If Douglas MacArthur stopped at me on the line and started like checking to make sure my shirt was pressed and all that kind of stuff, like I'd have to phone it in at that point. He stopped at my dad and asked if he was getting enough to eat. Well, of course, my dad said, yes, sir, as one might expect. But the point of the story is that my father was so impressed with meeting the general that when I was born, he named me Douglas. Which is so cool.
Isn't that awesome?
That's really great. Maybe that's why my pipe smoking became a passion of mine. Anyway, as you might imagine, I've done quite a bit of reading on the general, and it turns out that the briar was his favorite pipe, and the cob was usually pulled out and used when he wanted to make a strong visual statement, which, of course, those iconic pictures of him. He kind of knew, MacArthur was, as I'm sure Doug could tell you more than I could, but he was. He knew how to sell it. I mean, he was a personality. He was more of a politician really than anything. And so, him having this iconic corncob pipe, making these pictures that are very memorable, he knew exactly what he was doing with that. And so, anyway, he goes on to say the general, God bless him, was not only a great warrior, but also quite theatrical by nature. And he says, keep puffing.